Okay, this is my Zelos 36. After all the repairs have been made to the hull, you can see I have extra foam around the front. The entire front of the boat is filled with great stuff. So it's nice and solid top to bottom. The hull's real firm. I'm going to work my way back through the boat and show you some of the upgrades that I've made to this that I think have made it a little bit better. The straps that come with the boat, the Velcro straps that come with the boat, they work well for 3-cell batteries, but they don't work real good for 6-cell. So what I did on the bottom of them, I cut them in half and stitched in a piece of Velcro about 1.5 inches long and made them so I could tighten the batteries down with full straps. These yellow Velcros that are on the top here, these are just an additional layer of safety which pins those Velcro straps down in case the boat turns over. Keeps everything locked down in place nice and tight. So that's my power packs. I'm running the stock ESCs and stock motors. Nothing fancy there. I changed over all the plug ends to the XT90 connectors. It's what I use on all my boats. My Spartan and my I have a little Blast that I use for a towboat. It's pretty cool. All the water lines are running nice. You can see all my zip ties, all the wires are zip tied in real nice and tight all throughout the boat. So nothing's flopping around, nothing can get wet. Instead of having the two big loop tubes on the center here, I changed them over to a crossover setup, which actually I think works a little bit better. It gets actually running the cold water through the ESCs more than the original way. So I think that's a good idea. Well, you know, just test it out and see how it runs. Nothing got hot last time I ran it, so it was pretty good. I took my receiver, which they say is waterproof. Great. I cut a rubber finger off. I wrapped it up on either end where the wires come out. I filled it with dielectric grease and zip tied it down nice and tight, just as an added layer of protection to the radio, so I don't have any problems with that. In the back of the boat, back in here, you really can't see it very well, but the whole back of the boat up inside there, I put more foam tubing in there just to keep the back end afloat when she flips, because it does have a tendency to want to flip a little bit. When I'm running the boat, the videos that you're going to see are all filmed through a little mini GoPro, and this is the housing for it. We're using the camera to take the video, so this is the waterproof case that it comes with. Slip it in, hit record, close it, lock it, and then what I've been doing is I tested this thing to see how it would float with the camera in it, and I found out that you need about this much foam zip tied to it. I just run a zip tie all the way around the whole thing. I zip tie this to it, and camera will stay afloat in case it gets knocked off if you crash the boat. It just locks right into this little clip on the front of the boat here. It's actually pretty nice. It snaps in really tight. I could snap it in forward, or I could pop it out, turn it around, and give you a reverse view, which is pretty cool. I flipped the boat over once and the camera stayed on. It was underwater. You could see the towboat pulling up to it and pushing the boat back over to shore. It was pretty cool. A couple other changes that I made to this. Stock props worked really well, but I found on my Spartan that these larger props, it's an ABC prop. There's the number, the rake, 45 bar cleaver. Really good props. Easy to work with, easy to balance. All the props that I have, I put on my balancer and balance them, putting a little O-ring on either end to keep the prop in place so it doesn't shift around. But I got the props on the boat here. They're all balanced, polished, I mean sharpened. They are just, if you get your finger in one, I guarantee you're going to lose a fingertip, because it's actually pretty amazing what they do. I'm going to give it a little start here and just give you a little rev of the motor so you can see what it sounds like. Firing it up. Tell me I got 6 cells and we're ready to go. Little rudder operation, working full turn both ways. Also, if you look in here, I extended these out to the outer holes. They were in one hole on either side, and it didn't allow for a full turn. It wasn't going full max bottoming out on the turn, so change that up. Little run of the boat motors, nice and smooth, everything's balanced. You can see even on the tips of the nuts, everything's smooth, running off smooth, low RPM. Don't want to run it too long when it's out of the water because the tubes, everything will heat up on it. But I'm going to give you one little quick blast of full throttle. You got to see the RPM on this thing. It's just ridiculous. Ready? Hold on. Here we go. Look at the prop over here. That's the air hitting the prop I had on the balancer. Watch this. It's just balance prop just sitting there spinning. Pretty cool. But that's everything I've done to the Zelos. That's all my updates. Everything looks real good. I'll go give it a test tomorrow, see how she runs. I think I'm going to give it a quick wax job and just make sure all the nuts and bolts are tight, and see what kind of speed we can get out of it. I'm hoping to hit about, I don't know, I'm hoping to hit about 70 miles an hour.